Hi, it's Davey Mooney coming to you from the University of North Texas, where I run the jazz guitar program. I'm a Benedetto artist, a Sunnyside Records artist. I've got 5 Sunnyside albums, including the latest, Way Back. I've got 2 Mel Bay books, Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary and Into the Labyrinth, an anatomy of position playing for jazz guitar. And let's see, the weather has broken here. It was only like 90, high 90s today instead of 105, which is nice. Feels like paradise. It's late August, getting into the semester here at UNT, and also my kids' first season of travel hockey, which is another whole subject. But trying to keep it together, and I wanted to talk about the Billy Strayhorn song called Blood Count, which is really, really deep. I mean, all his tunes are pretty deep, the Strayhorn ballads. This one, I actually talked a little bit about this one when I did a video on like diminished harmony, probably like a year and a half ago. And I remember using Blood Count as an example of a tune that maybe there's a diminished flavor. It's kind of a nice way to treat all the dominant 7 chords. But I never did a video just dedicated to the actual tune. So I believe he wrote it around 66, 67 when he was, the story goes, he was dying of cancer. And the blood count refers to, the blood cells count and his hospital and with his doctor and all that, and that the band recorded it while he was dying in the hospital. So there's that aspect of it. It's pretty deep. I feel like this song it's the blues on one of the deepest levels I've heard, and I know I keep using the word deep. I can't think of really a better way to put it. It's profound in a way, perhaps. And I love the version on "And His Mother Called Him Bill," the Johnny Hodges one of many Billy Strayhorn ballads where Johnny Hodges is featured. They don't really solo on the chords, although Johnny Hodges has some places to embellish and play over the ending, some blues, some serious blues, y'all. And I also love, there's other versions, I'm aware of that. I really love Joe Henderson on Lush Life from the early 90s. With Christian McBride and Stephen Scott and Greg Hutchinson, and I feel like I tell my students, the ballad playing of the rhythm section, just the whole band on that record is a master class in where to just place everything perfectly in the matrix of 2s and 3s, and triplets, and duples, and all of that. Just everything is perfect. I swear. You got to check it out. Between the snare drum, the sort of more duple, perhaps 16th note subdivision on the snare drum, and then Chris McBride has a lot of like dun dun duns, the triplets, and Stephen Scott places things perfectly, and then Joe Henderson can just float over all of that. It's really masterful. So maybe to talk about the tune a little bit, it's really it starts on an F7 chord, and you just get this very dissonant melody of like 9 to sharp 9 to flat 5. It goes to B flat 7 and like a sharp 9. So it's you hear the blues right away. And on the first day, there's this little clarinet. I think it's clarinet. I have to go back and listen. Another little dissonant counterline that never comes back again. And then you got E flat 7 in the melody is. 13 to natural 13 up to flat 5, little chromatic line down to B flat minor 11 A7. So man, just in those first few chords you have a cycle of dominance, right? F7, B flat 7, E flat 7, B minor A7, with some really dissonant color tones and kind of unpredictable chromaticism in the melody. And then after the A7, the first day it goes D minor flat 6, natural 6, D7, kind of sus to D7, and then second A. first to tell, it's so fast, it's like a little saxophone gliss of, but I think it's all chromatic from F sharp down to D. It's gone on guitar to get the right articulation for that. I've been trying to go. It's kind of hard to do that and get the moving line, so I do my best. I don't know, now I'm thinking about changing it. Anyway. Then an A minor 7, or really just D7. Saw someone do a 2-5, and then the bridge, you get G6. And it's interesting because it's kind of a, major 6 chord or a major chord, but he also gets the flat 7 in there. 2, 3. And I love how the band goes. Behind him, after he resolves, he goes this E, F, E over a G6, and the band kind of goes like G diminished to G6, some combination of trombones, and then G minor 6th, same notes, and then F major 7 to E7, and then there's very much like a counter line of C sharp to C. The chord goes to A7, and the melody's on F sharp, and there's a counter line of like C, B, B flat, from the sharp 9 down to the flat 9. And then back to F7. So I don't think all those counter lines, like you have to necessarily play them every time, and I say the same thing to my students about when we do Isfahan. But it's good to be aware of what's actually going on in the original arrangement, I think, just because, it's Strayhorn and it's so deep, the stuff that he's writing, and he definitely conceived these songs to the arrangement and the tune are kind of the same thing, I mean, in my opinion. Of course, you can, Joe Henderson doesn't do all that stuff. He doesn't make the piano play all those counter lines, but it's good to be aware of them. So then, last day. Reminds me of Isfahan, that part. And then the last day is major again. Sometimes I'll just play 4 notes there. It's easier to articulate. Sometimes you're going to make changes, to actually be able to play it. So then, after that, the Joe Henderson version, they solo over the form. They go back to F7, B flat 7. The original arrangement goes back to the bridge, and the band plays the bridge. Johnny High just kind of solos a bit, embellishes on the harmony of the bridge, and you have that. I forget what the C7 does. There's a somewhat different line on the C7 going back to F7, but you have that. So that's crazy chords of the bridge, right? You got G6, G minor 6, F major, E7, and then this ascending A7, B flat 7, B7, C7 to the dominant cycle again. So a lot of dominant chords. And like I said, Joe Henderson plays on the changes, and his mother called him Bill. They go to the bridge, and then they take the last A. And it's nice, after there's a coda that I really love. It's so kind of intense and devastating, perhaps, where they go. So you get the last A, And the band plays a cool kind of like A7 sharp 11 to D7, and then you have G major, sort of a resolution finally. C7, and then F sharp minor to B minor to E7 perhaps, and then kind of a F triad over A, E triad, E flat triad, then D minor. Johnny Hodges plays over that a So man, really, really deep song. And I found this song very intimidating for a while. Just kind of, emotionally, I was hesitant to try to say anything over this song. And then I guess I just got older and I stopped worrying about it so much. But when I play on it, I kind of use Joe Henderson's vibe as a model, and that I don't feel like there's so much chromaticism and dissonance and specificity in the things that are happening over the dominant chords on the head. So when I solo, I don't feel the need to necessarily incorporate all of that or any of that. Sometimes I'll just play F7. B flat 7. And when E flat 7 goes to B flat minor, to me that's just the same chord, really. It's just an inversion. Then A7. D minor. I do want to observe the kind of James Bond thing. The ascending fifth. And then, I might bring in some diminished stuff. It's a good place to do your harmonic major scale on the second A when, that D with the ascending thing to the sharp 5. I feel like harmonic major is a good flavor to put into that. And then the bridge. Those ascending chords, sometimes I'll just ascend with them. I've been into this little idea lately. Idea of this A7. It's kind of fourthy thing. I guess it's a pentatonic actually. So over A7 I'm going like B, A, F sharp, E, C sharp, and then I don't feel the need to alter necessarily, the dominants that are resolving 5-1, like the C7 going back to F7, or in the A section like F7, B flat 7, E flat 7. I guess because there's just so much momentum in all the cycles of dominance and all the dominant chords. Maybe I'm thinking more like that the notes are, maybe they're sort of like blues notes if I'm going to play some of those dissonant pitches. It's funny how it only goes to D minor the first A, and then the other ones are major. Remember, augmented triad is always your friend, y'all. It's often your friend. And then when you do that coda, you can embellish it. Little Green Dolphin Street kind of vibe at the end almost. That can either be kind of blues, I guess you could play over the triads and extend it as much as you want, but on the in His Mother Called Him Bill, it's a specific number of times. So anyway, yeah, really deep tune, y'all, and I would encourage you to check it out. Don't be so intimidated by it like I was for so many years, although, show some respect at the same time. You know, Strayhorn, he was going through a rough time when he wrote that. And yeah, I'm going to play some choruses, or a chorus on it. It's a pretty long tune, and I hope you enjoy it.